Hello everyone, this is my internship reflection video. My name is Miralina Carollo, and this is how my internship went. So first, a little bit about me, some of my work experience that I've had. I've had 3 internships. My very first internship I had my freshman summer, was with PG&E. I was working on their electric distribution side, and with that, I helped a lot with repairs. So we were doing a lot of transformer repairs, line repairs. We were replacing damaged poles or poles that were within areas that were under or that were in a high fire risk area. My second internship was with Garney Construction. That's who I'm currently with now. With Garney Construction, I started off in their private side, and I was helping, do takeoffs. I was doing a lot of project manager work, submittals, and RFIs. And then after that winter internship, I then went to Flatiron. I was working on the high-speed rail. And with that one, I did more field engineering duties. So we did a lot of going out to the field, ordering materials, making sure invoices were paid, and just working overall to help make the project smoother. With the high-speed rail, I was working on the earthworks side, so I was doing a lot of aggregate tracking and trucking prices and checking contracts and making sure everything was all within compliance and everybody was getting the pay that they need. My goals from this internship, this summer I went back with Garney Construction, and my goals were really to get more familiar with what's going on in the field. I felt like I always heard the professionals talking about what was happening with the project, what they were going to do, what they needed to repair, but I didn't always understand all the lingo, and I didn't always understand, what certain things meant. And so I know that I needed more experience out in the field to be able to become more interested with to be able to become more understanding of the work that's going on. It's very important they understand what work's going on so you can help solve problems in the future, and even know you can even figure out the best way to solve some issues. Um, I also wanted to be well known among the crew members. I feel like there's a big stigma with engineers versus those crew members out in the field. Engineers tend to think one way, and crew members, they can see a simpler and easier way to get something done. So I really wanted to get familiar with them. I was constantly checking in with them, and I wanted to see, what they thought, if they had any issues and what they wanted to say. I want to practice my communication skills more, speaking up, asking more questions, just learning more, and just leaving a great impression with the team, showing that I can work hard, and I'm a person that they want to bring on full time. So some day-to-day work that I did here at my internship is, order materials, submittals, quality control. Something that really helped me with this day-to-day work was the construction CM20 class. We did a lot of takeoffs in that class. We did a lot of construction documents in that class. And that's a lot of what you do as a field engineer / project engineer, project manager. It's a lot of managing, everything about the project from start to finish. I also look forward to the course that I am taking now, currently the soils course, because if you look now at these 2 pictures here, if you see from our bore logs that we conducted back when we first started on this site, it said that we were only going to experience water at 12 feet. So we only dug an 8-foot deep excavation, and we're experiencing a lot of water. So I wish I would have had, that soils class. I believe it was 127. I think I misspoke. That soils class, ahead of time, so I would be able to read those bore logs a little bit better and be able to understand, a little bit better the struggle that the guys were going through and the changing conditions that we experienced out in the field. I conducted a lot of field meetings on site. When you're working public projects, you have to get everything you're doing approved by the owner. In this case, the owner was the water district, but we were working in a lot of areas that involved the city and the county, so we had to work and coordinate with a lot of people, which really helped with my communication skills. So some field meetings we had was discussing, placing a steel plate in the ground, rather than having to repave over it every night, and just doing things that helped make construction go by faster and also made it safer for the public. Another meeting we had for the picture on the right is just looking at how bad this site was because we are experiencing water, 3 feet before we thought that we would experience water. So the issues that we were running into, and trying to meet on site and trying to figure out, the quickest solution to get construction really moving on. Conducted a lot of quality control. A big problem we had with this project was, people would get the big 16-inch pipe in the ground, and they'd quickly throw together these two pictures on the left. They'd quickly throw together the blow-offs, and then they would move on to the next part. But a lot of the things that they missed were small details. If you could look at the picture on the far left, that blow-off should be sitting right on that post, like the picture in the middle. Should not be up that high. Those C-clamps need to be sitting nice and flush on that pipe. So there's, quite a few things wrong with that. Obviously needs to be fixed. That's a picture I took, to show that, hey, we need to go in there. We need to get all this fixed up. Another quality control, that's actually the same setup. Those first two pictures, the same setup. And a lot of them would just, throw those boxes in the ground. They didn't have 2 inches of space between the top of the boxes. They weren't grouting the boxes at all. So just small things that they missed. I think they're just trying to hurry up and get along with production, but these are important things that we need to make sure are getting done. Finally, in the last picture, he's tightening that mega lug up, and that needs to be evenly tightened. He needs to go in a star pattern. So we were out there making sure that he was following the star pattern and that he was torquing all the bolts to the right spec. My takeaways from this internship: with Garney this summer, I was working on a pipeline project, and my takeaways were to always act as a role model, to always set an example, especially out in the field. I think safety is the biggest concern. Safety comes first, and you need to be that person who is always wearing your PPE, always wearing your hard hat, always wearing your gloves, always wearing your glasses, making sure you're wearing proper boots, jeans, 4-inch sleeves. You need to be that role model who sets that example. I also learned that you always have your team there to assist you whenever you need it. If it's something that's really complex, you can always set up a meeting, set up a time, ask them for help, and they'll be more than willing to help you out because you're all contributing to this project, and the work that everybody does shows how well that project is going to go. Another thing that I really, really wanted to help perfect this internship was that the work that you put out there shows who you are as a person. If you're putting out work that's very sloppy, very fast, that's not neat, that's not organized, people really get an idea of what type of person and worker you are. From a company, I really wanted internships are important because you get to see how the company functions, how they roll, and how they, run to their day-to-day things, how they solve issues and conflicts. And I wanted to make sure that everybody who's working for the company was proud of the company they're working for, and that they, weren't leaving the company, and that if somebody did leave, they were kind of questioning why would they leave such a great company. And that's really something I got from Garney. It's anytime anybody left, they always wondered, why would you leave such a great company? So it's definitely a company I want to be part of, a company that people think, this is such a great company, you'd be crazy to leave. Not that you're, scared into leaving or anything like that. I actually ended up getting a offer letter from this internship, which was really, really good. I was very excited. I accepted the offer letter, so I'll be continuing after graduation with Garney Construction. Overall, it left a very good mark on me, and I'm very happy that I did all the internships that I did and gathered all the, new information that I needed. Thank you.